Hey worship leader, welcome back to the channel. This here is the little Robbie Pilot, and this here is the little Robbie Worker. Now you guys know about the Pilot because it partners really well with the HX Stomp. As you probably know, the HX Stomp has 3 snapshots in it, and the little Robbie Pilot is a pre-programmed MIDI controller that's set up to bring up each snapshot, 1, 2, 3, and allow you to access tap and tuner. I made a video about this last year showing you how to use it, and then I gave it away to one of you lucky winners, and that's what I'm going to be doing with these pedals too eventually, but right now I'm actually still using this. I used it a couple weeks ago along with my white HX Stomp, and it's just a great partner because this allows you to, like I said, bring up snapshots while remaining in stomp mode. If you know me, that's how I like to run things. Recently, I've been using my Stomp in snapshot mode only, using snapshots per song, because you can change your BPM to change per snapshot, not just per preset. If you know anything about the HX Stomp, you have a slight cut in signal when you switch presets, but not so with the snapshots. So that's how I've been running things, and it works great with the Stomp. But what about those other units that have 4 snapshots, like the HX Effects or the HX Stomp XL? Now, the good thing about these units is they have a lot more foot switches, as you can see, compared to the 3 foot switches that we have on the HX Stomp. So then why this? Why the Worker? Because as you can see, what the Worker does is it brings up 4 snapshots, because we have 4 snapshots in the Stomp XL, we have 4 snapshots in the HX Effects, but we have plenty of foot switches over there. Do we actually need this? Yes you do, and I'll tell you why. Because no matter which unit you're using, you're still going to want to access 3 things: your snapshots, your preset, and I love being able to have the flexibility of staying in stomp mode, right? No matter what preset or snapshot I'm in, I can still toggle on and off different effects. Well, with both the HX Stomp XL and the HX Effects, we have 6 switches for that. We can access our tap and tuner here, and we have this mode switch right here. You can either set your unit up in 6 stomp mode, where all of these will toggle on your stomp effects, or you can set these first 2 foot switches to scroll through either presets, snapshots, or banks. But you heard that right, it's either or. You have to go in and long press to switch it, and you can't just access everything that you want to access, or at least everything I want to access at the same time. So if you're very visual like me, you want to see all this hooked up. So we're going to do that today. I'm going to hook it all up, show you the hookup, show you the cables you need, show you the global settings we're going to need, and also show you a little trick, because now that we have something that controls 4 snapshots on here, it also can control all the snapshots over here. Now I'm only going to be using this for amps today. I'm going to run 2 amps and 2 cabs, so we still get that stereo effect, but I'm going to show you how to use just the Worker to control snapshots over here and control snapshots over here. It's pretty cool. Let's go. Now the Worker needs 5-pin MIDI out, and it also needs power. So we're going to be hooking this up to power, and we need 5-pin MIDI out, which means you're gonna need some MIDI cables. Now I have a warning, a public service announcement for you. I bought some MIDI cables, and I wanna make sure you don't buy them too. They're probably great quality. They are the Rockboard MIDI cables, and they're flat, low profile, and I was like, ooh, those look good, and they do look good, but the way they're shaped, they don't work well with any of the HX Stomp, HX Effects stuff, because they're sideways mounted, and you can't move them. And so everything on the HX Stomp is right next to each other, and no matter which way I hook it up, I'm always blocking something that I need. For example, if I hook it up like this, I can't use my headphone out to monitor myself. That's not good. And same thing with the HX Effects. If I plug it up here, I can't use my USB out, and I can't hook it up to my computer. That's also not good. So these look great. They're low profile, but if you're trying to use it with the Line 6 stuff, you're gonna have those issues. All right, so let's power up our units. All right, so like I said, the Worker needs to be powered. I'm using my Chalks DC7, powered in right there. I'm going to come out of the Worker and go into the HX Effects, and then out of the HX Effects into the Stomp. And then we're going to the in of the HX Stomp, just like that. All right, so the first thing you're gonna want to do is make sure that both of your units are on MIDI channel 1, because this only sends to MIDI channel 1. How we do that is we go to our global settings right here on the HX Effects. Let's go to MIDI and make sure that this bass is on channel 1. For the HX Stomp, you hit the hamburger menu, scroll over, page over, go to global settings, go over to MIDI, and make sure that this is also channel 1. And that's really it. When you hit snapshot 1, you can see that the snapshots are changing. You can see effects are changing over here. Snapshot 3, And then snapshot 4, this changes. Since the HX Stomp only has 3, it doesn't really know what to do with the 4 message, so it just doesn't do anything. It stays where it's at. So if you're on snapshot 1 and you hit snapshot 4, it's just gonna stay on snapshot 1. So that's something to know. But what's cool is it's communicating to all of this. So you can run your HX Stomp as a double amp like I have, and then use this for your effects. If you want, you can go to global settings and make sure that your foot switches are set to 6 foot switch mode if you want, and then if there's anything assigned to these, they'll all be available here. Or you can go back in and do what I like doing, is put this back to 4 switch mode, and then you have access to your presets here, your stomp switches here, and your snapshots here. It's perfect. So one more thing I wanted to mention to you that I just figured out is that when I hit preset up and down here, I can scroll through my presets and leave it on my amp and cab, which is probably what I would want to do like on a Sunday. I like setting up my amp as if it's a real amp. I don't like switching amps in the same set. I like making sure it's as realistic of an experience as possible. But when I first set this up, I had to switch some global settings to get this not to change. Let me show you. If you go to global settings, go over to MIDI tempo, I originally had all this stuff on, specifically right here on page 3 or 4, which was it? 1, 2, 3, MIDI PC or program change send or transmit. I had this on, and when it's on, I just set it to both. When it's on, when this preset changes, this preset will also change. So that's something to be aware of, and it actually doesn't just change, it actually goes to the corresponding PC message. Every preset on the HX Stomp and the HX Effects is bound to a program change message number. And so when this sends that same number, it's going to pull up that same preset over here. So like I said, I wouldn't want that. I would go to global settings, make sure I'm on MIDI, and turn the send or the transmit off. And then you can change presets here without changing presets here. I'm gonna hook up my guitar. I guess I need to mention that I'm coming out of the outputs directly into the inputs of the HX Stomp. You can go mono or stereo. I'm gonna try to go stereo if this MIDI cable, I don't wanna break anything. Looks like we're gonna go mono today. I really wanted to go stereo, but I can't because that MIDI cable just won't let me. So we'll listen to it in mono. It's fine. Is it fine? I mean, once you've gone stereo, it's hard to go back to mono. All right, I want to bring up a preset on the HX Effects because I had some questions about it through some emails about how if you're running mono, which we're running mono today, so this should be a good an explanation of it. Some people were struggling to get the pad sounds working, especially the new ones, with being able to play on top of them. So I want to show you how to do it because it should work like this. I'm just hooked up mono like we've talked about. This will scroll presets. As soon as you hit a preset with the pad, it's on snapshot 4. I have it saved like that, so it'd be saved off. But I'm gonna hit snapshot 1, should be the key of E. Here's my clean tone with some effects from HX Effects. Except I probably should have played something in the key of E since that's the key we're gonna be in. And I hit snapshot 1. And if the pad sound is too loud, you can scroll over here to the very end and turn it down. You can also set that up on an expression pedal and bring it where you want it. And so I have access to my snapshots and I still have access to my presets just like that. Yeah, so there it is, the Worker and the Pilot. Both good additions to your HX Stomp, HX Stomp XL, HX Effects, pedal boards, pedal rigs. These things are great. They're very simple to use. They're pre-programmed, so you get to utilize the benefit of MIDI without actually having to know anything about MIDI. Just make sure you follow the instructions in the video, set your MIDI channel to 1, and you'll be good to go. So you can pick these up on reverb.com. You may end up getting a website one day. If so, I'll change the link down below, but click the link in the description and go get yours now. All right, that's it. Have a great day. See you in the next video. Bye.